assignment. Now I can just add a comment. I can just add a comment to it and say, this is what I don't like, this is what I like, and all of that. So now let's go back. So you can see that if I click on this, if I put my mouse on this product design part, the title, I'm not seeing, you won't see this. But once you remove your mouse on the title itself and come down here, you would see two different options. You see a 4 dots and you see a plus icon. So let's see what the plus icon does. Once you click on plus icon, you can see that you can add anything below. You can either add a text, you can add a page, you can add a to-do list, you can add a heading, heading 2, heading 3, you can add a table, you can add bullet lists, you can add number, toggle list, quotes, divider, link to page, you can add link, you can add call out, you can add so many things. You can also add image. So for you now, if you finish designing and you want to add it, you want to put it as a portfolio, you can add image. You can also add a video from YouTube. You can add audio, you can add code, you can add file. There are so many things you can add here. So you just need to click on it to see the different things you can add to this. So let's say I want to add an image. All I need to do is to click on that image icon and I'll upload the file, or I'll use on Splash, or I'll use a link. So let's say I see okay, so let's say I see something online and I need to add it to explain, or to be able to explain what I want to do very well. Let's just say, let me add this music, since we are talking about, since we've been using music. Allow it to load and you can see it here. So you can see that I've added the picture successfully, and I can still add my text. So if I come to this part, I can drag and drop with this. So let's say I want to move this below. I want to put this below the picture. I just need to use this to click and drag. So this is like what you actually need. Now, for you to share it, if it's an assignment, for you to share it, you just need to click on share. And what you need to do is to invite somebody to it. So if it's me that you want to add to it, you just need to invite me to it, add my email address and invite me to it. Or you come here and you copy the link. You come to this part and you copy the link, or you export it. So you can also export it, copy the link or export it, and you send it to anybody that you want to send it to. So are we good with this mini tutorial on how to use Notion?
Yes.
Yes, for now.
Yes,
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
but
Hello, is someone saying?
yes, I have a question, please.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I got all the process now. But the first process you first attended to is the place you actually wrote no music, no life. Actually, I did not get that very well. I did not get how you actually did that. So that's what I was asking the other time. So
Oh, okay. So one. Oh, okay. So let me add a new piece. You see add icon, you see add cover. So this is what I used. I just added a cover to it. And can you hear me? And I can change the cover. So you just need to click on that add cover. So you just like add new picture. And you can now change the cover how you want it. You can change the picture. You can either you can upload it from your computer directly. You can use on Splash. It's a page where you can get different pictures. You can use link, and anyhow you want to get it. So that's how I got that. So let me just delete this page because I really don't need it again. Oh, sorry. I just deleted this. Okay, so that's it for using Notion. Like I said, we are going to be using Notion a lot for most assignments and all of that. So you just need to document it, and I hope you understand the whole process. It's not like I want to make the class hard for you. No, it's just that I want us to have I want you to have resources. At the end of the day, you should be able to have something. So even if you want to pass this knowledge to somebody else, you can have all of this things. So you can also save your links there. So for any link you get, so you know the fear of I lost my phone, so all the links I shared on WhatsApp, I can't get access to it again. I've had students talk about that over time. So with Notion, you can just save it there for life, except you forget your email address. But as far as you know your email address and you know your login details, you can always get it. Okay, so I think, yeah, that's all for it. So now we'll just go quickly to talk about UX, and where I'm going to talk about the careers in UX and some terms that we're going to come across as UI UX students. So I'll be using product design, UI UX. I'll be using it anytime it enters my head. I can just use UI UX. I can just use product design. Then later on, I will now get to tell you the difference between product design and UI UX. Now, what is UX? Like we all know, UX is user experience. That's just the meaning. And one thing you need to know is it's growing very fast. Companies need UX designers. Churches need UX designers. In any field, you need a UX designer. So what is UX? It's all about experience. It's about how someone is able to do a particular task. So let me use a practical example. Say you go to Chicken Republic today and you want to get food. Now, from when you entered the office, when you entered the gate, from how the gatesman opened the door to how they smiled at you at the counter, to how they gave you the food, that's the experience. Now, let me give you two scenarios, and you are going to tell me which one is good and which one is bad. Because one thing you need to know is for experiences, you can either have a good experience or you get a bad experience. That's why they tell you experience is mostly the best teacher, which sometimes it's actually, I don't really believe. It's better that I, I use other people's experience to learn than to learn from, because there are some experience that are brutal. So let's say you go to Chicken Republic. First, you get there and the security man is just standing, and instead of opening the door for you, he looks at you and you're struggling to push the door, knowing fully well that he locked the door from inside. You're struggling to push the door, and then he starts laughing. You see him laughing because their glasses are mostly transparent, so I can see you. He's laughing, he's shining his teeth. You stay there for like 5 minutes before he finally, because you have patience, like I said when starting the class, that we have patience as product design, because you have patience. You decided to wait for 5 minutes. After you are struggling, and he saw that you wanted to turn back and he then opened the door. I say, wow, madam, come in. Sorry, no vex. You now entered. When you entered, you go to the counter and you tell the waiter or waitress that you want to get you need ice cream. And after telling them that you need ice cream, they go to their this thing and they bring this thing parfait for you instead of ice cream. And you say, this is not ice cream, this is parfait, and they start shouting for you, madam, you don't know what you want. This is what you told me that you wanted, and I went to bring it. Time to pay. Their POS is not on, and they ask you to go and withdraw cash and come for them, because they don't use cash, and they don't accept transfer. They don't accept transfer because their POS is not working. You can't pay. Now, is that a very good experience? If you are just remove the product design that you are learning now, or the UI UX that you are learning, if you are to act like a normal Lagos person or a normal human being, what would be your first approach? So somebody just on mute. What would you do in that situation? Okay, Juga. Sorry, I don't know if I pronounce your name. Someone's hand is up, but I can't hear anything. Olumoye, are you saying something? If you are, I can't hear you at all.
That was a mistake.
Hello. Hello, Shifa. Can anybody hear me? Because I can't hear anybody saying anything.
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay, okay. So I'm waiting for a response. We are a team, so team members they talk. So you can't just keep mute. And so anybody, I just gave a scenario, and I want to see I want to hear how you're going to act in that kind of situation. Okay, so Eberechi said she will leave and never return. I will leave and never have anything to do with them again. Yeah, so this is like what every human being would do. Because after that experience, I don't think I would enter Chicken Republic again. And I'm not saying this is how they behave, but I just realized that this is a life class, and this is not how they behave, but this is like me using them as a case study, please. So I would never come back again. And what is going to happen is that for anybody that tells me that I want to eat here, I would not allow the person. Why? Because I had a very bad experience. Now, one thing you need to know about bad experiences, this might just be a branch that acted like this, and that is not the whole, that's not the whole system, but you would not want to do it. So that's the same as UX. That's the same as using any app. There are some apps that you would use today, and because of how bad the experience is, you will not come back to use it. It can just be that it's the login that has that bad experience, but because of how bad it is. So let's use let's use something that is also very common, something that is very dear to all of us. Imagine you're using an app for the first time. Yeah, we have a broker here. So let's say, imagine I want to fund my Forex app. I want to fund my Forex card, and I came across this new Forex platform. Or should I use dollar card? You know how hard it is now to pay for your iOS pays and all of that using Nigerian cards. You can't. So you need a dollar card to be able to successfully pay for all of this. And I've been looking for different cards for a while. I've not seen anyone. The ones I see, they are very expensive. So let's say a new card comes in the market, a new platform, and they allow me to be able to buy dollar, or to be able to do what I need to do. And then I tried to do this thing. I tried to fund the account. They debited me. After debiting me, I did not see the money in the wallet. I tried to call customer care. Customer care's number is not going. And there's nothing I can do. So let me just assume that that money is bye-bye. Tomorrow, if I hear somebody, or if I hear them post something, or if I see them, no, if I see them posting anything on social media, I will go under that post and comment. That's what you see most people do. They'll go on that trending post, and you see them say, GT Bank is owing me, refund my money, you are giving them bad reputation. And people, by the time you talk about your experience to people, they will end up losing more people. So that's why I advise people that the UX part is like the most important part of your process. It is very important, because if you're able to get it right, if you're able to make people love the experience of the app, most people will neglect the what's it called? Most persons are going to neglect the UI parts. So one thing, you bear with me, because I like using real life scenario to explain what I want to drive at. Now let's assume that we have guys here. Yeah, let's assume that you see somebody. So I used to use this picture. So you go somewhere, or you go for an event, and the first thing you would see, let's be sincere, you see a girl coming, or you see a guy coming. So this is both ways. The first thing you see is the physical appearance. That is what is going to attract you to the person. So let's say the person is tall, and your spec is someone that is tall. The person is on dreads. Let's say your spec is somebody that is on dreads. The person has fine face. That's your spec. Now these are like what you see, this physical appearance you see from this person. Now the person is now walking closer. You're walking closer to the person, and you say hi. The person turns and look at you and hiss. Even if you have forgiving spirits, Nothing will allow you see that person on the road the next time and you would say hi to that person. So, like I said, GUI might attract people, but what is going to keep your customers, what is going to keep them is UX. So now we are talking about the different jobs that people can get as UX persons or as product designers. So I want us to do something, a little task. So I want you to check on LinkedIn. I want you to check on Google Jobs. I want you to check all of these things, and you just type UI UX and look at all the jobs you can see. Okay, no, don't search UI UX, just search for a job and you see the different jobs that are available in Nigeria and other countries. Look at them, then reflect on your career values and what roles will appeal to you. Yeah, I know that most of you have done it. You've searched for different tech skills, and what came to your mind is doing doing UI UX. Yeah, it's doing product design. But for those of you that have not done it, you still have the opportunity to look online, look at jobs. So you know what this is going to do for you. It's not going to change your mind. You're already in this class for 4 weeks. You're already here. It's not going to change your mind, but it's going to give you another perspective. It's going to give you motivation on why you need to be serious with product design and why you need to do it and do it well. You need to see the jobs that are being put out every day for product design. If you go on LinkedIn and you search product design, UI UX, you would see different jobs, different countries, different places. You would see people. Hello, can you hear me? Sorry, I network had to drop
Yes, we
me.
can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this is what I was sharing. Okay, so like I was saying that this is just going to motivate you and see that there is actually job security for the skill that you're going to. Now there are some key terms that you will get to hear at every point. Now what you need to know is UI UX is broad. So that's why the compound one, like I said, I was going to say the difference between product design and UI UX. UI UX is just user interface, user experience. But the product design field is very broad because we have different field under it. Now, these are terms that you need to note. We have the UX design, that's the user experience design. We have the UX research, that's the people that get to check about a problem and know if it's worth solving. We have the visual design, which can also be called the UI part, that's user interface, what they see, what people see. We have the information architecture. This has to do with the whole plan of the idea. So let's say you want to build a house, and the first thing you need to do is to call an architect to come and give you and draw the plan of the house. So that's the same thing as product design. For every idea you want to come up with, you have to have the the plan of the whole house. Now we have the content strategy, which is very important. Now there's something I used to battle a lot because I'm not really the content person. So most times I battle a lot about how to which content. But one thing you need to notice, your content is also something that will keep your users. So imagine, so I'm going to share another of my slides. Now that slide is going to talk about the whole product design in view, and then you will get to see from a particular visual example, you get to see why content is very important, because the kind of content you use would actually confuse your users, or it's going to tell them the real direction. Now we also have the wireframing. This is a part where you get to draw your idea, you get to pen down your idea. It's easy. You either draw it on paper, or on paper we call it sketching. But if you're doing it on your Figma, it's wireframing. Now under wireframing, we have different low fidelity, high fidelity, and mid fidelity. Now for prototyping, it's more of how how you interact with the system. So that's why you see from page 1, if I click here, I get to page 2. If I do this, I get to do this. Now we have the usability testing also. Now this is where you test your product in the market. You not really in the market, you can test it with your close relatives, you can test it with your friends, you can test it with anybody. Now the whole idea of testing it is to know if what's it called, to know if the idea you're solving or what you're solving, you've actually solved it. Now this is like the last phase of the design process. You get to test to know if the complaints that they gave to you, if you've actually put it into consideration. Now we have the accessibility. This is very important. Now most people tend to neglect this part. Be very simple that even someone that is designer, front-end designer, and the T-shaped designer. So we get to know all of this. Now, one thing you need to note for is the most important is your research and your strategy. And why are you designing it? That's the goal. The goal of your the goal of every design, or the goal of every company, is that you need to understand the problem thoroughly before you can even think of providing a solution for them. So this class has been so quiet. We are going to do something very simple, and before we continue, it's going to be very simple before we continue. Now let's see, it's like my how I like it. This is something I do almost every time. Let's see, you look at me now. I'm using myself as a case study. You look at me now, and I work Mondays to Saturdays, or Mondays to Fridays. Let me use Friday. I work Monday to Friday, for instance, and I stay on my desk from 9 a.m. in the morning till 11 p.m., sometimes 12 p.m. And the next day, I need to dress up and go to work. See, I work hybrid. Now that's the way we work hybrid, and I need to go to the office some days, and I need to be in the house some days. The days I'm in the house, I sit on my desk from morning till 12, 11 p.m. Now, this is my normal life. And if you get to talk to me, you get to realize that I have so many issues, or I have so many challenges. One might be getting my food cooked. One might be getting my laundry done, and all of that. So let's use the most important one, which is food. Because laundry, I can stay and I've not gone out for weeks. So let's use food. So that means if I'm in the house, I might not be wearing plenty clothes. So let's use food. Now, while I'm teaching or while I'm working, I need to eat. Because I need to eat, that has been my major challenge. Now you know my problem. Now, if you want to solve my problem, as with the few things you've gotten so far, as what UX is, what it is all about, solving problem and all of that. Now, what would you do? Like, what is the first thing you will do to get to solve my problem? Did you get the question? Okay, Christiana. Okay, after Christiana, Juma, you can go here.
To solve your problem, I'll first of all find out what kind of food you like eating, and then from there I can start by making an app or something, or making an app that will get people that sell those kind of foods in one place, so that you can just order for it at your own convenience.
Oh wow, nice one. So yeah, I can hear you. Nice one. Juma, how about you?
Design US design to it. I think what I'm going to do is to prep ahead, like know that okay, this is what I want, this is the food I want to eat. The best thing is to order for the food, and they'll probably bring it. You order it before you start your work, so your food is beside you. You can eat, you can work. I think that's what I would do. So I'll probably order for food instead of going through cooking.
Oh, okay. So nice. But okay, so someone Mofe, say something. Yeah, you can unmute. Okay, so everybody that their hand is up, you have to say something. You will say something after. So after Mofe, Oluwakemi, then Esther. All right, so thank you.
Okay, so for me, I think if I were to be in your shoes, I would just get a cook and then stock the house with groceries that I know suits the kind of food that I love. That way, I'm not starved. I can ask for food and whatever it is that I need at any time, and I know I'm getting quality at even a cheaper rate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. All right, Oluwakemi.
Yes, for me, the thing is to analyze the kind of food I want. Is it fast food? Is it homemade food? If it's fast food, then who are the suppliers that are around, that is close, and are they available at the time that I need them? Then if it's homemade cook, what is the cheapest and most convenient way to get somebody to make the food? Are they making it in their house or they're making it in my house? So all those things have to be considered. Then I can come up with the best strategy. If it's to get a part-time chef that comes at this particular time that I need the food, or to get a full-time chef that can be in the house and supply the food anytime and I need it. And if it's fast food, the closest restaurant that are available that can do home delivery. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Kemi. Esther.
Thank you, Ma. So if I were to be your US design, the first thing I will ask is to get to know your kind of food taste. What do you like? Do you like fast food? Do you like homemade food? Then after that, when I've established that point, the second thing I will need to do is to know, okay, if it's fast food, am I connecting you with the closest fast food around your vicinity, so that the food does not get spoiled or it won't be delivered in a funny way because of distance? Then if it's going to be homemade food, okay, will it be getting you a chef, part-time chef or a full-time chef? Or will it be someone that will cook at their home place and deliver? Or will it be someone that will supply you a 1 week food? You understand? That will supply you a 1 week food. So it's all I'm going to deliver is going to be based on your preference, your taste, your preference, and how it's going to ease you, that it won't be another additional problem. For example, now you said you're working from morning till 12 p.m. That means you might not have time to warm your food by yourself. So, or will you be able to leave your desk for like 10 minutes to quickly warm your food and get to eat it? You know, all those things I'll put into consideration before giving you the final solution. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. So I like the whole from one thing for everyone that did not say anything. If there's one thing you will learn from what the people that said something, you get to understand that solving a problem, you have different approaches. You can solve the different problem. But there's something I like about what everybody that spoke said. The first thing is they have to check with me. Now, that is the most important thing I wanted us to get. Yeah, I've taught other boot camp, so I'm going to give it to people that spoke. So I've been in situations where when I ask these questions, the first thing people get to do is they start suggesting solutions to me. They start telling me, okay, you do this, you can order food, you can do this, you can do this. No, that's not the first step. The first step is to actually talk with me. Now, when you talk with me, that's when you cannot break down this problem. To now see that the problem might not just be that I cannot take out 30%, 30 minutes of my time to cook something. So, but if you don't talk to me, you won't know. You've just seen the background problem. I've given you the problem, which is I find it very difficult to get. That's the background problem. But you have to talk to me first. That's why they tell you for every product, your users come first. That's why it's called user-centered design. They will not see a design that is not user-centered. It must be around the user. It can be that I don't have money to be ordering from Chicken Republic every minute. Because if I order from Chicken Republic, I'll probably pay for delivery fee. I'll pay for all of those things, and it might not come close. So that's where someone said something about proximity. You need to also check which fast food is closest to me. If I'm to do that, you need to put all of those things into consideration, because it might not just be that. It can be that I don't have time to cook, and I also don't have the money to start purchasing those kind of food. Now, what's the second thing you can advise me to do, which is what Kemi said? Kemi said you can decide, okay, I get a chef that comes to my house, maybe cook a part-time chef, maybe cook all the dishes that I would need, stock it down, pile it in the fridge, and I take up this thing one after the other to warm it. Now, someone also said something, I think it's I've forgotten, but I think someone said something. Maybe I also don't have that time to go and warm the food. Now you now need to think, okay, what other strategy or what other thing can you do for me, since I also don't have time to warm the food? That's where you can also say, okay, why not we just give her a microwave close to her? It can be the microwave might be close to her desk, so anywhere it needs to be in her house, where once she's ready to eat, so what I'm going to do as a chef is to dish portions that she can eat and keep it down in plates. So all she needs to do is to, as she's working, she just put it and put it on, and she's doing what she's doing. Once it's warm enough, put it off. So it's like she doesn't really need, I don't really need to leave my desk to do anything. I can still stay on my desk and still get my food that I want to eat. So these are different processes you need to check before you actually come up with a solution for me. Because if you just come up with a solution on your own without really knowing the problem behind the problem, I used to call it the problem behind the problem. So it can be that somebody will tell you, I can't come to this place because of transportation. Now that's like a normal talk. Transportation, you don't even know the transportation issue this person is getting. Is it that the person doesn't have transport to pay to the place, or is that the person has transport but there's no car, but there's no car on the road, or the Uber guy did not come? So all of these things. So don't just assume. There's something we don't do as UX people. We don't assume. So the first thing you need to know is to ensure that you know the goal, know the structure, know all of these things, and know the why behind every problem that you get to hear. Now, this is the user experience iceberg. We have the surface where you talk about the graphic design. We have the skeleton where you talk about the wireframe interaction. We have the structure where you talk about the user flow, the information architecture. We have the scope, which is the requirement, and we have the strategy, which is the research. Now, the most important part, the research and all of that. So we are now going to look at the key components or key skills that you need to have as a UX person. You need to have the research and analysis part. So that's why, if you notice, I'm ensuring that we all learn how to talk. I'm ensuring that we all say something on this call. So it will not be fair that you don't even say something, because one of the things you do, one key thing you do is research. So you need to learn it. I come from I've always been this very shy person. I don't like talking. I don't like communicating with people. But at the end of the day, I came to discover within myself that I can actually excel in this particular job if I don't learn how to talk or if I don't learn how to interact with people, because I would always get to research. And we have different types of research. We have the quantitative and we have the qualitative. So I would not always be sending surveys to people. I might do live interview. I might do all of these things. And because I don't know how to talk, it's going to limit my knowledge. It's going to limit me from getting in-depth knowledge about the problem I'm trying to solve. Now we have the information architecture. We've talked about this content strategy. So just put this picture in your head. Just know that these are like the core things you need to know as a product designer. So for research and analysis, before you do anything, you have to gather requirements. You have to gather things. You need to know what you're trying to solve. You need to figure out who the users are. You need to figure out how many users need it. Then for content strategy, you need to know, okay, what type of words should I put on the page? What kind of pictures, what kind of videos should I put for my users to be able to resonate, for them to be able to know, to be able to align, or to be able to I'm thinking of the right word to you, for them to be able to interact with the process. You need to check all of that. Wireframing. Now you need to now draw, okay, this is where a button should be. This is where the button should not be. At this point, you might not need colors or any of those things. Now for prototyping, it's like the most easy thing, the not like the easiest thing, but it's like the most fun part of design, because you need to know, okay, if somebody should do here, if I tap on a button, what should happen? Should I click? Should it be clicked or should it be swiped? Should I swipe on a login button? I've seen some, that's why for fingerprint, you notice that you swipe fingerprints, but for button, you click. So you need to know all of these things. Then accessibility should be for everyone, both the young, the old, the elderly should be able to use your process very well to do all of those things. Visual design. Now, what are the core soft skills that we need as product designer? We need communication skills. Communication is very important. You need to learn how to communicate. There's something I call over communication. Yeah, it's better that you over communicate than you under communicate, because you need to tell your team at every point. Remember, you're always going to work with team. You need to tell them at every point that this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm not going to do, and all of those things. You need to be sure that you're able to pass your information in a way that is not confusing. I've come to work with different people, and sometimes somebody might tell you, design a login screen. That is what the person wants you to design, a login screen. Now, there's a difference between telling somebody design a login screen and telling somebody design a login screen that users can input their username, their password, and maybe sign, or should I say click on something, add their image before they are able to sign in. Now, can you see how the two are like the same thing? I said the same thing, but one is clearer. Without even doing any other thing, the person can easily know that, okay, the login screen I'm designing, she needs to just have 2 field input and 1 upload pictures field. That's it. Now we also have flexibility. Now for flexibilities, you need to you would have to encounter different point of view, feedback, and revisions as part of the process. Don't get too attached to your designs, to your first design, because there might be a better solution or a technical limitation that would make the idea difficult. Now there's something we call iteration in product design. Now, what is iteration? Iteration is working on a particular design over and over again. So I've come to realize that my first design, no matter how I work for a company, so if I design something first, I am expecting that I would come back to the design. So I'm not expecting I'll design and leave it and hand off immediately. I'm expecting that by the time we are doing the review of the design, somebody will tell you, this button that is there is not supposed to be here, put it here. This text that is there is not supposed to be here, put it here. But if you get too emotionally attached to your design, when I mean emotionally attached is after designing, you say, oh boy, see my design. This design is so fine. Sir, there's nothing they will say about this design. This design is so fine. You've added emotions to it. You're attached to that design. If they not tell you you need to change this, you'll be angry. Somebody might even come I've worked with a team lead that will come and delete the whole design. Like, he will not even talk to you, he will delete everything you have done. And that design that you are saying is fine. You end up not seeing it again. They've deleted it and you have to come back to work. That's the revision. Sometimes an employer or someone that's working with you, a product manager, might tell you that this is the design we are going to, this is how we want it to be. Tomorrow you would have a meeting with the boss and he will come back and tell you we have changed pattern. So one thing you need to know is you need to be flexible. This is soft skill flexibility. You need to have it. Oh, okay. Mofe said she had an experience last week, Friday. Yeah, so that's it. So you need to always, you know that it's part of the process. So you need to not add your emotions to it. Always wait for feedback, different point of view, and all of that. Now, the empathy. Empathy is like the most important skill for a UXer. So if you're a UX person, empathy is one thing you need to have. So what is the empathy? Empathy is just putting your leg in your user's shoe. But sometimes I used to feel like that particular statement is not truly correct, because I can put my leg in your shoe for 5 minutes and I won't feel the pain. So I might feel the pain, but I don't know the extent of the pain. So it should be put your leg in your user's shoe for a long time. At least if you wear the shoe the whole day, then you would know if you now know the extent to which it's hurting. You can just try to put it for 5 minutes and it might not pain you for long. So put yourself in your user's shoe for a long time for you to understand what exactly they are facing. You need to understand their goals, what they want to accomplish, and how you can help them. So if you are not empathic in this field, because there are some buttons that you want to do. I've seen a design where the button is a triangle. Like, even you that is not a product designer would know that a button is always a rectangle. So imagine somebody doing a button as a triangle. You can know how hard and how frustrating it can be for a user. Like, you know how it's going to be for a user. It's going to be so annoying. It's going to be so painful. But if you put your leg in their shoes and you understand their goals and what they want to achieve, there's some kind of things you will not do. You just say, imagine I'm the user. Imagine I'm the one doing this. How would I feel if somebody should design something like this for me? Now, curiosity. This is one very important and vital part. Curiosity. You need to be curious. You need to know new things. You need to learn new things. You need to just do all of these things too, because the field is evolving. I remember when I started initially, there was nothing like glass morphism. The next thing we had glass morphism, we have schemorphism, different morphisms started coming out. And now, if you don't keep yourself updated, if you're not really curious on how to learn, you might end up not adapting to new standards of information, because so please just give me 2 minutes. Okay, so I had to quickly message that. So you need to be curious about learning new things, because you would always get to learn new things. So now the real question is, what does a UX designer actually do? So I know that, yeah, some of you have gone to check what UX designers do. So I'll need like response. Just tell me what you know. Remember that there's no wrong answer and there's no right answer. Just tell me what you think a UX designer does from all of these things that I've said so far. So 3 persons, just raise your hand so that I'll select the first 3 and we are good to go. Okay, Jumai.
Okay, so what I think a UX designer does is to look at the problem of a client, of a customer or some target customer, then fish out a solution for them by making whatever solution you are doing user friendly and also easy easily accessible to them and satisfy them. I think that's what the UX designer does.
Okay, so Koye, Damian.
A UX designer, they basically just they make a product or an app or service usable or enjoyable or accessible, or they can also like get to know their target audience and try to identify that problem that needs to be solved and coming up with solutions that can solve these problems.
Oh, okay, thank
Hello,
you.
for me,
So
for the
yeah,
US designer, the US designer has to meet the company goal and also meeting their clients' needs. That way, their product has to be usable to meet their clients' needs, and also meeting the company goal because the company actually has a goal of making this product to meet their user need. Right? Thank you.
oh, okay, yeah. So thank you very much. All right, so it's time to observe our break. So we are going to have a 30 minutes break. So we have to come back by 12:10. So see you all by 12:10. So key skills. So key skills you need to know about user interviews, surveys, and all of that. And then there's no so one thing I advise people, including myself, is that you don't need to make research so boring that people would think it's the normal way of research. So when I mean so boring, you know the normal boring way of doing research. Somebody will send form on the group chat. I know you've seen group chat and all of that, and they do tell you, I'm currently conducting a research. Help me fill it. I'm currently doing this for my company. Help me fill it and all of that, which is actually good, but it's boring. Or you want to conduct user interview, you now get to send links to people and all of that. These ways are actually boring, and it's like most people are getting used to them. So as creatives, one thing you need to know is you're creative, so you can think of different approach to conduct research. So I used to tell somebody that I used to tell people that as a UX researcher or as a UX designer, there's something you need to carry your skill like you're doing evangelism. So let me use that. So I don't know, some of us are Christians and some of us are Muslims. So depending on your religion, it's fine. But you need to carry it the way you carry your religion. So let's say if you are this person that you preach to people every day, you preach in buses, you preach in this, you can conduct research in all of those things. You just need to make it creative. You can also conduct research on Twitter Spaces, on Google Meet, on all of those normal random platforms or webinars. You can conduct your research. So you don't need to wait till you get somebody to do this before you can conduct research. So put it in your mind that you need to be creative in how you conduct your research, because in the how I'm thinking of the right word to do. It's better to be fun and people will you get the reaction that you want than you make it one very random, boring something and people will not give you what they want. Now, information architecture, we've said it from before that it's like you building the you're trying to build the architect, the plan of the whole thing. So you get to organize information and determine how it should be arranged or or displayed. Now, let me give you an instance. If you open your app, you open any app, let's say you open your Chicken Republic app, I don't know if they have app, or you open any app, the first thing you get to see is how it's arranged. You get to see if it's home, they put home first, if it's order, if it is. So if you open your bank app, you first of all see payment side, you see settings, you see profile and all of those things. All of these informations have been arranged in a way that it will make sense to the user. So this will help with product strategy. It will help with so many things. Skills you need to know with card sorting, understanding of cognitive psychology, library science, and user analysis. So you know why library science is very important? Let me see. Yes, Iberi, attendance have been shared. Let me share it. Okay, so you know why library science is very important? Now, library science is important because you know that when you go to the library, there's a place where a book is. If you're looking for what's it called? So if you can understand how librarians arrange stuff, you can be able to do information architecture very well. And when I say very well, so in library, you know that everything is arranged properly. It's arranged in a very good order. So if you're looking for health-related books, you know where to see health-related book. If you're looking for novels, you know where to see novels. If you're looking for all of those things, you know exactly where to see it. So that's the kind of skill you need as a very good for you to do a very good information architecture, because you're trying to group everything where they're supposed to be. Now, I don't know, are we together? Are we following? Are we following?
Yes, we are together.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let me give a very practical example. So let's say as a coach, as a football coach, let me use football as an instance. So let's say you want to buy players that your fans really want. Let's do it like you want to buy players that your fans really want. Now, what you need to do for card sorting, or you want to use it as an information architecture, all you need to do is you now have to give your users. That's why it's very important. I'm trying to explain card sorting and how library science, how it relates. Now, you know that you want users to give you the exact player that they want. So all you need to do is get all the names of the players that you need, put them in a basket, and name it. That's the main basket, like all the players you want to buy. And let's just assume, let me not use just one coach. I want to use several coaches, like several coaches. And all of these coaches, they have Manchester here, they have Arsenal here, and they have Chelsea here. All of this, and they call the coaches to come, or they call users to come, and they say, we have different cards in this original basket. I want you to pick a player and fit in where you feel the player would fit in. So do you get? So I want you to pick from the original basket, from the one that has all the names of the player, and try to arrange them, or put a player where you feel like it will fit. So as users, they will come. That's the whole idea of card sorting. They will come, they'll pick, let's say they pick Messi, and they'll see, Messi has been playing for this, let me put him in Chelsea. They come, they pick Ronaldo, and they say, okay, let me put him in Arsenal. They come, they pick this, they start picking all the players. At the end of the day, you now get to check all of the players. You now get to check the players and where they put them. So let's say if majority of your users put Messi in Chelsea, you automatically know where Messi is going to be, where you need to buy Messi and put. If majority should put Ronaldo in Arsenal, you already know where Ronaldo is going to be. So that's like the whole idea. That's the whole image, or the whole picture around card sorting. So what will it help you do? It will help you to organize the different features where they are supposed to be in UI UX. So let's say if you check settings under in any app, you see that under settings you have profile, you have profile settings, you have edit your name, you have update your phone number, you have all of those things. These are like plans that people had, that okay, settings will fit in, profile settings will fit in under this tab. That's why if you go to payments on any bank app, payments, you see that you see recharge your GoTV, you see pay for pay for NEPA bill, you see send money, you see buy airtime, you see all of those things. Now, it's not by accident that those things are arranged that way. It's because that's where users are comfortable. So that's why if you want to build any app, if you want to build bank app, I tell people the best user research to do is to even look at different bank app, look at where they place each of these tabs, and you will get to understand fully where you need to place your own. So there is something in UX laws where we say users tend to find your own platform like other platform. So if they come to your platform, they want your platform to behave exactly how those other platforms are behaving. So when you are trying to build your information architecture, you should understand this process and try to put it like that. Now, we also have interaction designers. Now, as an interaction designer, what you're focused on is how the user interacts with the product and how they are using it. Now, let's say if they want to include animations, user how they move from here to here. Now, the key skills you need to know is visual design. Forget the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. All of those ones are not important for you. It's only important for product design. So you need to know visual design and prototyping. We'll come to that. Now, for user interface designer, so I'm trying to show you all the different sub profession you can have under this. So you can decide to say, okay, I want to just be a UX researcher. I want to just be a user interface designer. You can decide to do that, but not as your starting course. In Nigeria, yeah, you need to be all around. You need to be a product designer before they will really employ you. They don't just employ UI designers. Even when you see ads for just UI designer, just so that you do everything. So for UI designer, what you do is you establish the look, the feel of the product. So you have to do from layouts to buttons to colors, fonts, all of these things that will make the product very fine and unique. That's what you need to do. The key skills you need to know is visual design, user interface patterns, typography, layout best practice. You need to know color theory. So when we are doing that, all the graphic designers in the house, you need to teach us elements of designs and all of those things so that we'll have good eyes for design, how to choose colors, all of those things you will know in your design and in your work as a graphic designer. You bring it in, you get to teach us. Then a product designer is a generalist, should I say, is the what's it called, a very broad role, because this now you have to do every aspect of product, every aspect from UI UX to even the business itself. So that's one difference between just a normal UI UX designer and a product designer. As a product designer, you're thinking about everything from the user experience to the interface to the business, but to the business part of it. So you have to think of the business. How will the company make money from this particular product? What are we going to get from this product? So you're thinking about everything. You're not just thinking about the design, about the user itself. You're thinking about the business, because for the goal of every business is to make money. If we need to be sincere, the goal is to make money. Forget, yeah, we need to solve problem, and solving problem will give you money, but the whole goal is to make money. So what do you need? The skill you need is content strategy. If you don't know how to write content, ChatGPT can help you out. Look at one good way of doing it is looking at other people's design and all of that. So we're looking at other people's design to see the kind of words they are using. You have sketching, prototyping, high fidelity prototyping, storyboarding. Now, what storyboarding? Storyboarding is just you looking at using stories to explain what you want. Oluwakemi, you said you have all the ideas in your head sometimes, and you've been trying to design it, it's not coming up. Now, what you need to do is to use story approach. Do it like a story, sketch it how you want it, let it be like a story. It will be clearer, and you know what you need to do and all of that. So that's like storyboarding. You need to put all of these things you need, write it down and make it look like a story and all of that. Scope definition, user interview, survey, data analysis, usability testing. You have to test your work. Now, under the same field, we have the front end designer. What do you do? They just bring all the work that they've done. Now, it's even very easy for you to migrate from product design to coding, because you now understand how everything is supposed to work. You understand colors and all of that. You can decide to just upskill. Now, one thing about it is you need to upskill at every point. there's no one particular, yeah, you need to have a particular job and do it with all your mind. But then you need to upgrade, you need to upskill. We have no code platform. You can also decide to learn all of those things just to add to your UI design. Imagine a company employing you because you can do both. You know that your money will be bigger than when you can do just one. So yeah, as front-end developers, they help to bring out the work of UI UX designers to it. We have the UX engineers. Now, this is like a new role. It's trying to emerge. You have to multi-skill and all of that. As an engineer, what you do is you get to easily communicate and transcribe US work into development team. So that's what you really know to you do. It's like looking at what the front end guy have done, and you're able to manage all, and you're able to do it well and do it well. So you can, it's like a new role. You know that every year new rules I imagine and all of that. So I can see different messages. Okay, attendance. Oh. Then we have the UX designers. We've talked about this one. You're all doing all of these things. Now let's go to the different what is a T-shaped designer? Now, a T-shaped designer is someone that does all of this, from the research to the experience to content to visual to developers. Like you do all of them, but you can stop here. That's a T-shaped developer. You know how to do everything. This is it. T. This is T. Now this is T, you get. So from the development process, we have the research, we have the experience design part, we have the content, we have the visual, and we have the developer. So for you to be a T-shaped designer, you can do almost everything on this table here. Can do almost everything. You are like somebody that everybody needs. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying you should go and learn all of these things, but these are things that are very crucial in your design. So you need to also know the business part of it for you to be a product designer. So what a T-shaped designer is just a product designer. You're a complete package. You know how to do everything. Because like I said, there are some people that are only UX designers, and there are some people that are only UI designers. But for the fact that you can do all of them, then you're a product designer and a T-shaped designer. Now look at the different landscape. For 2 years, and the kind of money, I'm not talking about Nigeria, but then the goal is to work. My boss will always call it something diaspora. Yeah, Nigerians and people in Nigerians that are working for other companies, so that are working for international companies. So this is like your salary. This is the salary landscape. If you're just new to the system, your salary should be about $75,000 yearly. As based on your experience, 3 years experience, $96,000 yearly, and 2 years experience, $86,000 yearly. Forget the naira. So you can see 5 years plus. You can see the amount or the money that we earn or that we are supposed to earn as product designer, and it's evolving. People will be more field will be coming in from in UX designer. You just get to see that some people are just you just get to see at the end of the day that there will be people that will be specialized in qualitative researchers. You just hear qualitative researchers, quantitative researchers. That's why it's very good that you know almost everything. So in summary, why we are trying to know the importance of this, and companies are trying to seek everybody, it's on demand, and we don't have enough designers to fill the roles. So we are trying to all get to the top. Now the thing is, it's saturated. Yes, we have in Nigeria now almost everybody. I'm a UX designer, I'm a product designer, I'm this. And it's not enough to just be a product designer. You need to be good. You need to be good at what you do. You need to take strategic steps to be able to get to that point that you want to get to. You should be able to say, okay, for today, this is what I'm going to dedicate 2 hours of my time after class to be able to research all the words I've seen, all the keywords I've seen, to be able to know in depth about it and all of that. So I've already listed out all the resources. I've posted it on that link that I sent. So you get to see Nelson Norman. This is like one of the best websites that you can learn UX. He has so many laws. You see the different laws, you see these books and all of that. So if you follow this website, website very well, you get to learn. We have usability.gov. Sometimes I'll be using resources from usability.gov, Nelson Norman, because these are people that provided good resources online, WebAIM, HHS, EDO, and if you want to learn design thinking process, EDO is like your best platform to learn design thinking process and all of that. So I put all of these things in a link and I've sent it. I don't know, as someone sent it on the WhatsApp group chat. So let me repost it. Please, somebody help me. Like I said, my WhatsApp is not logged in here. So you just have to post it on the group. Let me look for it. So okay, the link is already on the WhatsApp group. Yeah, thank you. So check on the WhatsApp group, you'd see the link. So we've gradually come to the end. We've gradually come to the end of today's class, but before we wrap up and we get to ask questions and all of that, let me open. I said we're going to check why content is very important for product design. So I'm going to open my Notion and we're just going to analyze good and bad designs. So you just give me your opinion, why you think this is good and why you think this is bad. So that's like what we are just going to do here. Okay, so this is the part. Now we need to identify good and bad designs. So how are we going to do it? Now you just get to tell me the reason why you feel one is bad, why you feel the one that is bad, and the one that is good is good. That's just the only thing I want us to do here. So you can see this design is labeled as good, this is labeled as bad. Any person, just tell me why you feel like this one that is good and why the other one is bad. So let's omit.
The bad one seems to be worldly, like too much word. Why the good one is just simple, straight to the point.
Okay. Any other person, any other opinion?
I feel like the good one, that deploy vehicle is a button, and for the bad one, it's actually supposed to be a button, but it shouldn't be this big and it shouldn't contain so much words, so it doesn't even look like a button anymore.
Oh, okay. So someone also unmuted.
Yeah, the bad one is not showing like a city, like click to action, but the good one is showing like a city, that is a click to action button.
Yeah, very good points. But the main focus I want all of you to see here is the use of content. Remember that you need to use content that your users will understand. But I've been saying it, content. Now, this initiate autonomous control sequence and this deploy vehicle, they are the same words, like the same, they mean the same thing. But one is very complex. As a user, I might not understand what this means until I get to go to the dictionary, I go to Google. But I can just simply understand what deploy vehicle is. And you guys made me understand from another perspective that this is a button. This is supposed to be a button. So for a button, it should look like a button and it should convey the right word. This looks like a car, a signpost. So you can see we are trying to now we are gradually understanding why you need to use good content. You need to use content that your users can understand. They can understand easily. So that's it for that. So you know how we do it. This is one, this is good, this is bad. Tell me one thing you observe and why do you think this is bad and this is good?
The bad one has, sorry, the bad one has no heading
and it has no action points, like that's create. Why the good one has a heading and has a action point, which is the create. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So any other person?
I think the good one is educating, is detailed, showing what's about before even reading the content, and the other one is just choked together.
Oh, okay. So any other person?
Yeah, I want to just add that the use of color right there actually helps to show that there's a call to action. There's a either create or cancel, but that's for the good one. But the bad one, you don't really know what you're supposed to do. Like when you look at the bad one, it doesn't really have a very strong call to action because there's no contrast between the background color and
Hello?
I think it's a network.
Oh, okay. So we are all very correct. We are all very correct. Now let me just add to it. Now you can see that this is like throwing something at somebody. It's just like my mom would tell me that it's just like you want to dash somebody something, you just throw it at the person. Okay, let me use it. My mom used to give us one story of a dream and all of that, that somebody brought chicken and gave it to her. Now imagine I've collected the chicken. From you, and that is when you're not telling me eat the chicken raw, don't cook it. How does that sound? Sure, you return it. So it's just the same thing. You give me something without telling me what I need to use that thing for. But this good one is telling me what I need to do with it. I need to create a new job. If I don't want to create a new job, I'll quickly just leave because I know it's not for me. So it's just like throwing something to me without even telling me what I need to do. Like I need to see the edging. I need to get an idea of what I'm doing. Now, the create and cancel, there's something about buttons. They will teach us that for people to know buttons, you have the active buttons and we have the other type of buttons. So we need to make users understand which is the most important button. We know here that the most important button is create because I want you to create a new job and my most important button is create. The cancel is like the other aspect of it and all of that. So yeah, thank you. We're all very correct. Okay, now let's look at this third one quickly. 2 persons. There are so many people who have not heard their voice in this class. People like Evidence, Yomi, Yetunde, Ruben. But anybody, just think about this and tell me why you feel one is good.
Okay, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good afternoon.
Okay, this good one is just saying that load, you can also put reload under. Like when you can click an icon there, then reload will come up. Then that turn off, you can also do the same thing. Then turn on will come up. And that's okay, that's the two of them. Instead of just putting too many in this bad one, you can just do everything in this good one.
Yeah, very correct. Any other person? Any other person? Okay, so no other person. Okay, yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just that the information on the good one is very clear and it's not too bulky. You already know what to do. Unlike the bad one that has so many options, you can even get you confused on which to click.
Yeah, actually, so it's like there's a particular UX law that will teach us that you don't overload your users with content. You need to make it short and brief. You see this load here, you can just put you can just put an icon here and it will show you the other one, or you can just put a toggle on and off. So once I load, I toggle it, I need to unload. So all of these things are something that you can place in one instead of repeating it here and keeping it here as individual content. Okay, so a quick one, this one. Are we thinking? Let me assume we are thinking.
The good one has
an active button that is highlighted. So if something goes wrong, you will know that something has gone wrong, but the bad one doesn't have that.
Okay, thank you, Abiola. So the whole idea of this is any other person saying something? Okay, no. So
Sorry, I
okay.
think
Oh, Yomi wants to
I think
speak.
the good one is showing that the error or the mistake is coming exactly from the email portion, unlike the bad one, not pointing directly to where the issue.
Oh, okay. So Mary, you want to say something?
Actually, in addition to what Yomi said, what I saw is that the good one is indicating that, okay, the content is more colorful. Why the bad one shows just an inferior stuff, no, just not colorful.
Oh, okay.
Okay, can I?
I don't
Okay.
know. But
Yeah,
this
you
looks
can. Sorry,
like
just wait,
something that
Victoria, just wait for us. Yeah.
sorry, I don't know if I'm correct, but this looks like something that has to do with maybe responsive design or something like that. That email doesn't look like an actual email format. And maybe that's why it's not working. I don't know. Maybe that's why it's
There is
like
no
that.
wrong answer in our class. So anything you say is correct.
Maybe that's why it's like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay,
Yes.
I want to talk.
Okay, so can we do it like this? Oluwakemi, Victoria, and who is the last person? Okay, so Oluwakemi and Victoria. After Oluwakemi,
Okay.
Oluwakemi.
Okay, for me, I feel that the good one is indicating where the fault is. That means it's saying under the email, it's indicating that it's the email that is wrong, so it's highlighting it. The bad one is indicating the fault at the top of the design, so you don't actually know which of the boxes is actually wrong.
Yeah. So Victoria, do you have any other thing
She
to
has,
say?
she has said it all. She has said it
Oh,
all.
okay. So you are all correct. Now, I'll just use a scenario to explain it. So I need to get to Ojota, and I can come through Google. I can come through what's it called? I can come through a Ikeja. Now, instead of you just telling me you can come through Ikeja, you can come through this. You're not telling me that I should get to okay. Let's say I'm going to. I'm trying to picture this way. You're not telling me that I should go through Ikeja first, turn around Ikeja, then now get to follow Ugudu just to get to Ojota. There are two routes to get to this place, but you want me to now follow the two first instead of just following one. So this is it. The first fault of this is that there's a fault here. There's an error here. We know. First is show me exactly where this error is. Don't waste my time. I cannot start going through first name to confirm whether first name is the right place or going through last name to confirm if last name is the right place before I now get to email now. I might not even notice it. If you can see now, there is no art. The only issue is because there's no art here. Now, the second thing is using the words. Use words, plain words. This is saying validation fault. Format does not match database. This is it, yeah. I don't understand this jargon here, but I understand this one. This doesn't look like a valid email. Try adding ads. That is straight to the point explanation. Don't make me follow Ikeja, turn around, follow Maryland, turn I'll not go and follow Yaba side, turn just for Jota that I'm going to, when I can just quickly take a vehicle from Ikeja that is going straight to Jota. So that's just the whole picture of this. All right, so let's see. This is more UI. So who wants to say something? So just 2%, 2%.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure, you can.
Okay, so for this one, the bad one, all the buttons.
Sorry, Mary,
colored.
after you, Yomi, after Mary is Yomi must talk. All right, sorry for cutting you short. You can continue.
It's fine. So for the bad one, all the buttons are colored. Yes, but for the good one, just one is colored. That's the log me in. So like if all the buttons are colored like that, you don't really know the one you've clicked on or the one you've not clicked on. For example, when you want to hover on it, you don't really know the one you've clicked on or the one you've not clicked on or anything. But if one is just colored, you know that, okay, this is the actual login, and maybe the other one is just, maybe if the login is not working, then I can see I have to sign up, or maybe I've forgotten my password, something like that.
Oh, okay. So your me then Imelda.
Okay, good afternoon. To
Good
me, I
afternoon.
think the bad one, the good one, let me start from the good one. The good one, actually, you are supposed to have two options. Either you are logging in or you are signing up. Either you're a fresh person on the app or you've been on the app. So the forgot password shouldn't be fully highlighted as shown in the good one. While on the bad one, everything is carrying an active button. That's all.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. Move. Okay, Move, is your hand up or I should continue? Oh,
It's up.
okay.
Yeah, so for me, I think the good one highlighted everything, not really indicating what is needed at that particular point in time. While the good one highlighted login me, meaning that you want to log in. So for example, if you click on it and you are not already signed up, then it could highlight sign up for you. As since you are not signed up, you need to sign up first before you can log in, which means at a time you have a particular option on, like this one that is giving option for the three.
Oh, okay. So there's a particular law with graphics, there's a particular term in graphics I will call hierarchy. So what this is trying to tell us is there's hierarchy in everything. In hierarchy, you need to put out the most important one in the faces of people, and why the other ones should stay in the background. So it's like one adage I used to say, there is no two masters at the same time. You can't have two masters at the same time. For the bad one, all of them, they are all masters of their own. And for the good one, we just have one master here, which is login. That's the heading, that's login. This screen is to login. Sign up and forgot password is an alternative route to follow if in case you've forgotten your password, all of those things. So make the master of the ship from the onset, and don't try putting too many masters at the same time, because you will confuse your users and all of that. So this is the last one. And so after the last one, we'll just get to ask any question and we'll wrap it up for today. So the last one, let's go sharply. Hello.
Can I hear you?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, you want my view? Okay. The good one. Okay, let's start. Yes, the good one from my own view. Since there is what is it called, icon to actually interpret the message it's passing, and then there is using red means a caution that you know that okay, once you delete this, maybe you will not have access to it. So I feel it is better. Like that's just the difference between the red, the bad one, and the good one from my own experience.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, can I talk?
Christina, yeah, Christina. Okay, so
Sorry.
please, can you just raise up your hand so that I'll just call you accordingly to how I see it on my screen. Okay, so I have Christina, I have Oluwakemi, Dosemu, Esther, and Yomi, and Victoria, Muyideen. Okay, so all of you just talk. So once this person finishes, the next person on mute. Okay, so Christina.
The bad UX design is actually not highlighting the delete, because delete is something that if a user clicks on it, it will just wipe the account off. It is something that should be highlighted, and using a blue color to highlight that is not acceptable. But if you look at the good one, it used red, signifying danger, that if you click this account, if you click on this button, you are going to delete your account. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why.
Yeah. That's it. So the next person, please, Oluwakemi.
Yes, for me, in this context now, the bad one, the context written there is long. You have to read through. But for the good one, it is highlighted. You permanently lose your profile messages and photo. It is concise, like the context there is concise. You can actually know what's to be deleted while deleting your account. And secondly, the wrong use of color. For the delete account, the bad one is highlighting blue color, while the good one is a red color, which signifies danger or caution sign that it's a wrong thing for you. You have to be careful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so the next person, please using more than our time. So the next person, just unmute. I should not call names. Just unmute and
Okay. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you, Victoria.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Victoria. Go on.
Okay, the first thing is the background color. This bad one is showing red, which means the background itself is danger. Why this good one, this background is different, which is a green. Then the bad one, it's showing delete account, which is supposed to be that this red danger, this red color, and it used you now went to use it for the background color. Why the good one is showing that, oh, if you delete this account, and it's showing red color, if you delete this account, oh, you are going to permanently lose your profile, your messages, and your photo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can go on now.
I think it's just a buttress of what people already said. So it's just the wrong choice of colors. Putting because naturally anything green, blue is something good, while red is something bad. So for the action, having blue, which is actually something that's it's like a risk. Once you get into it, it's not, you can't correct it again. Should have been red and all. That's just.
Oh, okay. So thank you very much. Thank you everybody for speaking. You're all very correct. It's more of the way you use colors to show something. But there's something we call color psychology. When we get there, we'll get to it. Now, different color means different things for different countries. So there's a particular country where if you're designing, this red color is actually not danger. Red color means another thing and all of that. But depending on the country and the client you're designing for, it's very wrong if you're designing for Africans, US and all of that. Red means danger for all of us. So once I see red, it means I need to read back because I don't know money in my whole account. I might be sending my own money and I don't know. But if I see red, I'll pause to read it well. So it's like color psychology. All right. Thank you, everybody, for today's class. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for joining. Yeah, this is how we'll be interacting in all our classes. So just come to class prepared and all of that. So this is the point where you get to ask question if there's any question for class. And okay, so Sadiq, your hand is on. Sadiq, sorry, Sadiq, your hand is on. Sadiq, your hand is on.
Hello, good afternoon. This is
Good
not related,
afternoon.
but earlier on when the class started, I had a network issue, so I just got on when we returned from the break. So I want to ask if there's any news I can get the previous lecture.
Yes, so the recordings of the class will be shared. So there's recording, so they'll share it after the class.
Oh.
So did you hear me? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so let's just take 5 minutes to answer all the question. Your hand is up. Okay, your hand is down. Now, Victoria, you want to ask a question?
Yes, please, I can't find the record, the link to the different sites. You said we are going to get some materials. I can't find it on the group
Okay.
chat.
Okay, let me forward it now. The admin forwarded it. Well, let me forward it now. So, is there another question?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, Esther.
Can you hear me,
Yes.
please?
Hello. Hello.
Hello, I can hear you from my side.
Hello.
Can you hear me, please?
It seems the network is a bit bad. Can you hear me, ma? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So I want to ask, for this training, we are training to be
I can hear you.
yes, we are training to be product designers, right? So we are going to be taught
Yes, I can hear you.
yes, ma. So I'm asking, sorry, that for this training, we are training to be product designers.
Yes,
More,
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. So I was asking, hello, ma.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. So I was asking, for the purpose of this training, we are being trained, or we are going through this training to be product designers, and it falls under the T-shape when you are showing us the career section, right? Okay, maybe I should just type it.
Sorry, please, can we ask our questions here? My other network is having issues, so let's just continue from here.
Okay. So I was asking, for the purpose of this training, we are training to be product designers. So we fall under the T-shape and under the product design when you were showing us those career preview and all. So am I right, ma?
Yes, you are, but one thing you need to note is we just have 4 weeks to cover all of these things. So you might not really get you get the knowledge you need to get in, but you will need to also do extra work on your own, because if we are to use our timetable and all of that, we might just touch the surface of all of this field. But be rest assured that you will get resources and all of those things that can make you learn in depth yourself aside class time. But we are going to touch all of them, from user flow, information architecture, to all that you can think of that I've showed today.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, Muhyiddin.
Okay. Yeah. My question is, what we are taught today, are we still going to learn the practical aspects when we say physically, or this is just the end of the class?
No, this is not the end of the class. We have 4 weeks together. So the next schedule for the next class will be taught. And one thing you need to know is this is the introduction class. We'll get to go into user research. We'll get to go. The main work is starting from this week. We are just going to be using it to check out, to know all of those things, know the laws and all of that. The main work, there'll be times where you would design. So let me quickly say this. So as part of our process where you get to design, so you get more of design a landing page, design a mobile app screen, design this, design that. So there'll be more of design, like you'll be using Figma back to back. It's just like we're trying to put our foundation together. So when we dive into the real thing, there's a lot of work. Let me just tell you, there's a lot. I just pray that we all use this energy that we started with today. We just keep this energy to the end, because even the capstone is big on its own. You know, when you're going to design a full app, when I mean a full app from start to finish, all the screens you can think of, you're going to design it. So just buckle. This is like starting, buckle up. We have a lot to do together.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. Is there any other question before we end the class? So, okay, so I don't see any hand. So let me assume there's no
Please, I have a
question.
question.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure, go on. You mind?
Please, I want to ask, it's not even about the class time. Are we going to get the recorded class?
Yes. The recorded class will be shared.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so is there any other question? I can see two hands up. So let's. Oh, the Notion link says we need access. So all you need to do for the Notion link is you just need to duplicate. So let me just share my screen on how we need to duplicate. So you just come here. Where's my Notion? Okay, so this is it. You just come here and you would see if you tap here. Where is it? Let me look for it into here. You just have to duplicate. I'm looking for where that duplicate is. So this is it. So you just have to duplicate it. Once you duplicate it, it turns your own. So I've answered your question. So for everyone saying that you need access, just duplicate it to turn your own. Because that's where you'll be putting the different things you've learned today. So let me just give us a little task. So we've talked about different words today, different keywords and all of that. If you can just create should I say a card of
Sorry,
terms,
bro.
different terms you've learned. Yellow?
Excuse me. Yeah, that Notion is still not opening. It's not even bringing out the that's your page. It's not bringing it out at all. It's just saying you don't have access to this page.
Oh, okay. So let me open it with another link and confirm.
Okay.
Sorry for that.
Well, every other one is opening though. Just that one.
Okay, let me use another link. Another of my account to check. Okay, so that's I'm sorry we've taken 9 minutes of our time, but okay, so what mine is showing me is I need to open new Notion first of all. I need to sign in.
Oh, okay.